Okay, so buttonhole number 2. All right, so the next thing you do is you're marking where your buttonhole goes. So if your buttonhole is going to be vertical, like this, then this line is the center. No. Yes, this is the center of your buttonhole, and the cross line is the end, or the top, as it may be, of your buttonhole. Now, if you were going to do, and that's so that your buttonholes run vertical. If it was horizontal, then it would be this way, and this would be, which would this be?
The top of your buttonhole.
This would be the top of your buttonhole.
And this line would be the center.
So this would be the top, and this would be the center.
Because then your buttonhole
because
is
it
going
would start
to end up
here.
This
it would
way.
start here and go down.
Right.
Okay. All right. So then you have everything set up there.
And you've got your needle threaded. You've got your bobbin thread is come up from the bobbin and is laying on top of the plate.
Yeah.
You're going to insert first you're going to move this dial until it comes to the back part of the dial. You can see it's going to start to shift to the center.
Yeah.
Right there. You're in the center.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're going to insert your fabric.
And you do that by using this dial back here. Okay.
You're going to insert your fabric and line up your center line, which is the line that's going to go through the middle of your button
with line.
This line here, and there's a line in back of the needle, and then your beginning of your buttonhole line, you're going to line up on the second set of lines back there.
Yeah.
And then you're going to put your presser foot down, and it's lined up properly or not, and it wasn't quite lined up right.
So you just make sure.
You have to make sure that it's lined up, because if it's not lined up right, then your buttonhole is going to be crooked.
Yeah.
And you're going to pull your needle thread, hold it, take one stitch down into your fabric, pull up your bobbin thread so that you have both threads in your hand. Okay, and then I'm going to straighten that out so they're not knotted together, separate. Now you're going to take one stitch down into the fabric, and you're going to line these threads up, so that your needle is going to go over the top of it, so that you don't have to worry about tying anything off. And now you're just going to step on the presser foot and go to town. And you're not having to move the fabric. The machine does everything for you. All I'm doing is holding the thread in the place we want it to be, so it goes under the needle.
And you do that twice.
Yeah, you go over your buttonhole twice, because you get a much more secure buttonhole if you do it twice. On some lightweight fabrics, you're only going to want to do it once. And we chose a very narrow stitch for our stitch width on the buttonhole, and we chose that over here. N is for narrow, W is for wide.
Yeah.
And so we just chose a number 2 for this particular fabric and this particular buttonhole. Now we've gone right back to the beginning. We want our needle to be in the most upright position so that the tension is off your top thread. You're going to put your presser foot up. You're going to move your fabric off. You're going to cut your threads. Okay. Now, you're going to take your seam ripper and you're going to put it in the hole where you want it open. And you're We're going to just gently, very carefully and slowly use a seam ripper to open that buttonhole. Then you're going to trim your excess threads off. You can figure out how to use a scissors. Should be good.
They're stupid scissors.
You're just going to trim those very close because they're all underneath all the other stitching anyway. And then voila. And sometimes you'll get a little extra thread from the unraveling of the fabric that you've just cut. You can trim that off. And there you are. There's your buttonhole.
Let's see the back.
Here's the back.
There you go.
Okay.
Voila.
Voila. Done.